Spider-Verse drama, Sony Spider-Verse drama. So I want to talk about some stuff that is going on. So just to give you guys kind of pre-context to this whole thing, right? Now, we can all agree that the Spider-Verse is probably the greatest Spider-Man content that we've ever seen in our lives. Okay, it is 100% some of the greatest content. Now, the Spider-Verse movies were written by two people, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. By the way, a common theme, Jerry, that is always a co-duo that writes the best superhero films. Russo Bros and these two, and Jerry and I are next, maybe the next like 15 years. Anyways, so the studio and the duo has endured a heated fight over the budget of the Spider Noir series. Okay. The duo was also set to reboot Spider-Man for television, and Sony is not expected to renew their contract with these two. Now, for Sony, this is not good news. Number one, because the Spider-Verse is something that you would want to build off of even after you do the third film. So, with bringing on different writers, it's the odds are just not in their favor. I do, Jerry, have a couple questions because here's the interesting thing. You know that Disney owns the animated rights for Spider-Man?
I didn't know that.
Yes. That is why, the animated Spider-Man shows are all on Disney Plus because they own that. And what would be funny is if Feige recruits them to write the animated Spider-Man original show and to bring them back. That's one scenario. A second scenario, he could bring them back to write Spider-Man 4, which will also be another interesting thing. And a third scenario, James Gunn could literally hire them to work for the DCU. So how do you feel about this? Second question is, do you think that this can spur opportunities for them to work with Kevin Feige to maybe write Spider-Man 4 or to work on some other projects?
Yeah, first of all, of all the options you listed, like them doing Spider-Man 4 is the one that I would most want to happen. I think, oh man, that would be incredible. Number two, I think it's interesting that we're talking about the Sony animated Spider-Verse universe being expanded without Spider-Man, while it's okay to criticize Sony for doing the villain movies without Spider-Man. So I'm gonna defend Sony on that point because you're a little hypocritical there.
How am I hypocritical when the Spider-Verse has Spider-Man? What are you talking about?
Because at the end of the Spider-Verse trilogy, they're not gonna have Spider-Man. And how are they going to expand on it without Spider-Man?
Because you would just do a bunch of films with all the Spider-Man variants.
I guess you could do that.
Like you could do like a Spider-Man 2099 show to give Miguel O'Hara's back. I mean, kind of like just a backfill. Give me a Gwen Stacy Spider show, like, you know what I mean?
Fair point. Listen, I think that these writers are going to find a good job. Like they, didn't work out with Sony. I also don't think that if I were Sony, like I wouldn't want to pay them what I paid them to make the Spider-Verse movies to do a Spider-Man 2099 movie. I don't think a Spider-Man 2099 movie is going to sell like a Miles Morales movie. As much as I would love to see a Spider-Man 2099 movie that was written by the same writers, like, let's be real here. Spider-Man 2099 is going to be seen as a spin-off character. So, listen, they're going to get a good job. They're obviously like world-renowned writers at this point. I hope Sony figures something else out because I would like to see more from this universe.
Thinking from a corporate aspect, right? Think about this, bro. Like, let's be detectives for a moment. Let's gather information, right? Think about this, bro. In the Spider-Verse films, they require a lot, okay? A lot of IP. I mean, a lot of stuff. I mean, they literally took every version of Spider-Man from the very first animated Spider-Man. And I think that maybe the problem could be with them is that they're requiring so much from the studio that they're not willing to bend for that.
Right.
And they were like, maybe like they got so much from the Spider-Verse films, like they were able to use whatever they wanted. And my guess is probably with Spider-Man Noir, they expected the same thing. And Sony's like, we can't swing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that might be where the disagreements are coming in, possibly. So, but their little formula that they have, it is very special. And Jerry, it's something that we've never seen. And I ever since you and I have talked, because you and I talked about, it's possible that they might be moving off of the Devil's Reign story, right? And that we might get a multiversal Spider-Man film. I think that those are perfect guys you want to do. If you want to do a multiversal Spider-Man 4, those are the guys you go with there. So we'll see what happens.